So now that we've got calendars set up the way we want them over here, we've removed the ones by either unsubscribing or hiding from list, and we've got only the ones we want. We got to start looking at adding appointments to these calendars. Okay? There's really essentially two ways to add an appointment, the short form and the long form. Simply go to your calendar where you'd like to add the appointment and single click to bring up the short form. It'll allow you to give it a name and tell you which of the three types of things it is. We're going to stick with events for now, not the out of office and the appointment slots. So here's your dates. If you want to use a time rather than full day appointment, you'll just click the add time box, and then you can go in here and you can actually customize this down to the minute. So 11:09 is, 11:09 a.m. is when we're going to start that appointment. Okay. We can add guests from the address book. So you just simply start typing their name. They'll pop up. Any part of their name, first or last, is fine. And then you can actually even see if the guests are available and compare calendars for that particular date. Okay, this appointment's in the past, so it's really not relevant. You can add a room or location so that people know where to go for that. Rooms are a specific tool within Outlook. We haven't populated rooms, or excuse me, within Google. We haven't populated rooms yet, with the exception of the 3 SIL rooms, which we're not asking people to use at this time. But eventually you may see common rooms here that can be booked. Okay, or you can just type a location like Shattuckon Elementary School. Conferencing is whether you want to have a video chat as part of that meeting for people who can't attend in person. It's really simple to do. It's just a couple clicks on each person's part in order to use that link to open up a video. Since all of our computers have webcams, it's actually a really great option for people who can't attend in person. Okay, here's the important part. Where it says John Bullington here, that's the calendar it's going to go on. And if you've created and shared sub-calendars, it's super important that you put it on the calendar that you want people to be able to view that appointment on. Your main John Bullington calendar is the one people will use when they're checking your availability. So you should probably put it on there unless it's for a special project and you want them all together. You can copy appointments from one calendar to another too. Okay, we'll do a video on that a little bit later. All right, if you click more options here, it'll take you into that screen that gives you more options. So I'm going to remove Lucas so he doesn't get it. I'm going to say save. Notice that that message doesn't have a title. If I double click on it, it takes me into the long form. You could do this from scratch. You don't have to do the short form, then the long form. Okay. The only difference between really the short and the long form is you get a little bit more of a descriptive page over here where the guests are. And you also get to set your own personal notification. Note that this notification is not for all attendees of the meeting. It is just for you. Also, as you start adding people over here, so I'll add Vanessa and I'll add Lucas. And then I click on Find a Time right here. You do get a comparative schedule thing so that you can see who is busy and who is free to schedule that appointment. So between those two, they have no time on last Wednesday, November 6th to schedule it. Okay. All right. So we'll discard. Oh, actually, we'll hit cancel and we'll just go back to event details here. You can also add a description here, including hyperlinks. One of the things that bothers me about Calendar a little tiny bit is that there is no Google Drive button to click on and access resources in your Drive to attach it. You can take the shared link from Drive and put it in here as an insert link so people have access to those resources. Okay. One last thing, because I forgot to mention it earlier, is you can also control in the long form what your guests can do with this meeting, whether they can change the time, date, room, whether they can invite other people to it, or whether they can just see who's invited. Okay. So when you're done, remember to click save, and then you've scheduled an appointment to your calendar.